one shot, one chance, one move, one dance, one shot. Brace yourself for the bass. One shot.
Welcome, Saints Nation. It's going to be another matchup here tonight. This time, we are here in the NECC regular season here for some Overwatch League, or not Overwatch League, but Overwatch action. Don't want to get that confused, considering there is actually an Overwatch League. But of course, my name is Dan Banner, your producer and your host here tonight for this matchup as our St. Clair College squad gets to go up against the Southern New Hampshire University team. And currently, as of right now, here in this league, Saints are sitting, I believe, 2-0. Unfortunately, don't have the information in regards to the Southern New Hampshire squad, but looking forward to this matchup nonetheless. I won't get confused compared to last week. I know this is actually a best-of-3 league, not a best-of-5, so definitely less room for error, less room for adjustments. As I'm sure you can hear in the background, of course, as the game is just about to get underway. Before we do, of course, though, very quickly, big thank you to the sponsors that make this all possible. As usual, it's going to be the St. Clair College, or St. Clair College itself, Tim Hortons, St. Clair SRC, the St. Clair College Alumni Association, EC Outlet, and the Zeckelman School of Business and Information Technology. Of course, thank you for supporting our St. Clair Saints varsity sports team. And a big thank you to everybody who's already in here, ready to watch the team compete. I see a couple familiar faces in the chat already. Big hellos to everybody. We're about to get underway. We do have full spec privileges here today, so we're going to get all the action here on Lijiang Tower to get started. Of course, the hometown squad, we do have Imp and Commanda on the support roles. Then we have Kale and Bailable on DPS. Apostle and Prince Wada going to be your tank line here for the St. Clair squad. And we see Kale picking that Symmetra up, and it's going to instantly allow them to teleport to this capture point, but Imp does get picked off relatively quickly. Fragnar going to find him with the orb. Available in the midst of things, however. Going to make things rather messy. Try and get himself a flank, and in fact, him alongside Prince Wada are going to get the complete wipe here, and Saints are going to start things off nicely, taking care of this first capture point. And of course, I believe I have another shout out to do. I know just last week we got the opportunity to say happy birthday to Imp's mom. Now we get to say happy birthday to Imp's dad. Of course, hope you're having a fantastic day, and thank you for joining us here on the Saints Gaming CA stream and supporting Imp in his esports endeavors. We do have the Southern New Hampshire squad looking to get pushed in right now. That is going to be the Shatter. Oh god, bit of an awkward angle here for myself, but not awkward at all for Prince Wada, as that is going to be a happy birthday to himself as well. Beautifully done there from Prince Wada to line that one up. Nobody was ready for that on the side of Southern New Hampshire, and a beautiful, beautiful way to start off this game. Looking rather dominant as of this moment. 40% currently on the clock, but still plenty of time for the Southern New Hampshire squad to get themselves back in order. They're going to have to go through a couple defensive ultimates here on the side of St. Clair, and it's going to start things off with Coalescence coming out here from Commanda, and that is actually going to be the Pulse Bomb. Bailable had that in his pocket as well. Going to take care of Fragnar's Moira and instantly take out one of the healing line, or one of the healers on the side of SNHU. And when just right now, Bailable is just in the back line being an absolute menace. Apostle going to get credited with the kill onto Desi, but brutal stuff coming out here from the Saints to get moving here. You see this Southern New Hampshire squad coming in once again. Going to try and keep just throwing themselves at this point. Rhino does have the shatter available. Does he find himself a good spot to use it, however? He's kind of stuck. I do like the shields coming out here from Kale. Going to be separating things really nastily here against Southern New Hampshire. And that's going to be the charge coming in. The hammer down coming out here from Rhino, but he's going to pay for it with his life. And it is not going to matter. The Saints cleaning things up nice and quickly. Fragnar, the only one really anywhere near this point. Or yes, now he's the only one anywhere near this point. As a siren on the side of Southern New Hampshire was not able to make any sort of contact. Saints are going to start off very strongly here, getting themselves a 100-0 on the first portion of Lijiang Tower. But of course, for this first game here, this first game mode is a best of 3 inside itself. So not done just yet here on the first map. And of course, we hopped into the action so dang quickly, I did not get the opportunity to welcome our Southern New Hampshire University opponents, which of course Fragnar on support, Desi on DPS, Osiren on DPS, Prince Subfer on support, then Pepto and Rhino. Going to be rocking the tank line here for Southern New Hampshire. And Saints going to be rocking that Symmetra once again there. Kale going to get them to the point so quickly and just getting themselves into position to capture this point nice and fast like they've been able to do. Just puts them in such a better position, and that way they're already playing it as if it's them on the defensive side of things, and it's always much easier for the most part to defend compared to attack. And available on this Junkrat, we don't get to really see it come out too often here during competitive play, but this is definitely a solid map here for it, as we see just constantly lobbing grenade after grenade into the enemy team. And even if it misses, that's okay, it just bounces right back anyway, as we do see Commanda keeping everybody topped off. Only casualty will be bailable, but that was because they basically just focused him down, so fair enough there. He's going to get himself back into the point before the next fight even happens in. And Saints are in a very aggressive position for their defense, not going to let them even come through the front door, which is definitely painful for the side of Southern New Hampshire. It means they're going to have to try and come in guns blazing, but a nice shot here from Desi is going to find Commanda. Ultimates in regards to Saints is only the Shatter, and the Riptire is going to be right around the corner. Apostle's going to find Prince Subfer, but that's going to be then a little bit of a back and forth, as Fragnar is going to find a couple kills. Osiren finds one as well. A 4-on-4 on the point, but Saints are still in control. Prince Wada charges in, but he's not going to find anything. Commanda back from the grave here, going to use the Coalescence to keep everybody topped off and make sure that fight goes into their favor. And now Saints continue the hold on the second portion of Lijiang Tower, looking strong. Couple ultimates to look out for the Saints this time by. Apostle does, of course, have that Graviton available, and then Prince Wada has the Shatter. If he can get around the shield of Rhino, it can be absolutely crazy effective, but they may not even need it just by gunfire alone. They are going to fire off that Shatter. That is going to get some big damage, but it's going to actually, never mind, this gets completely flipped. It was some big damage, but it was pretty well mitigated here from the squad on the side of Southern New Hampshire, so they're going to be able to push on forward for the first time in a good little while. There's only Commanda and Kale here on the defensive side of things, so they should be able to get at least a little bit of control of the point. Prince Wada's here to try and contest it, but he is going to get stunned up here, nearly going down. It's going to be the Coalescence coming out here from Fragnar, charging on through Rhino, going to win the tank battle, and looks like Southern New Hampshire University should be able to clean this one up unless Commanda and Imp alongside Bailable can pull off a miracle. Imp does go down pretty quickly here. Bailable trying to dip and dodge as much as possible, but he's run out of reinforcements. He's going to be able to hang on for just a second, and Saints do hit 99%. However, now it's in control of Southern New Hampshire, but it just takes one good team fight here for St. Clair in order to just take that right back. One way that can be done here is if Bailable could find a quick and easy stick. Can they get the Big Bang? That actually going to completely deny that combo. I love that Shatter there from the side of Southern New Hampshire. Everybody else is going to get deleted on the side of St. Clair, but beautifully done, because that was the Big Bang combo ready to come out here. Of course, you get everybody all gathered up with the Graviton, then you whip a Trace or Pulse Bomb into the middle of it, and it's just maximum AoE damage across basically everybody. and by that shatter catching Baleable that did shut it down. We're going to see the Pulse Bomb come out again. He is going to get not only the Junkrat, but his Riptire as well. So that is going to be the big ultimate coming out and wasted by Osiren. And the rest of the squad here for the Saints are just going to charge on through. We see Baleable just absolutely melting through everybody. That was absolutely huge. This is going to get flipped on over. Is anybody going to be able to contest? Emergency Wrecking Ball coming through. Not going to contact the point in time. St. Clair going to find themselves the win here in game number 1. Starting this best of 3 off right with a very, very convincing 2-0. And I'm hoping that this is the shatter that maybe just ever so slightly missed here in game 1, or think this is actually going to be it. Sure enough, knocks 4 or 5 members down and just allows the Saints to absolutely clobber through everybody. So absolute best case scenario there for the St. Clair squad as we get ready to lobby up here for game 2. So big start with the St. Clair squad this time by. And of course, with it being best of 3, you don't exactly, excuse me, you don't exactly have much time to really recuperate. There was a couple glimpses of brilliance on the side of Southern New Hampshire University. I know I give big credit, it was to Rhino for that shatter that did stop the combo from St. Clair from happening. However, Saints just regrouped. They had about 2 or 3 ultimates to push the point. And when you're at 99%, I mean, it just takes one fight loss, and that is the end of the game there for you. So solid attempt for Southern New Hampshire, but we're going to have to hope for their case that they're going to come firing here on all cylinders in game number 2, as this time it is going to be the hybrid version, I do believe. Just double checking real quick in regards to the map type. It is going to be hybrid, so you start off by capturing 1 point this time, but as soon as you capture it, you don't have to hold it. You push the cart forward as much as possible instead, so looking on forward here. So anyone, of course, I did not quite mention earlier because we started that game pretty quickly, of course. Now, it did ask who takes game number 1. And sure enough, 100% of you went with St. Clair. Well, guess what? You all are definitely right. Did I spoil that one? I did ever so slightly. Whoopsie. My apologies, everybody. But looking forward to this next one nonetheless. They're asking if we're all ready to go, so I'm going to let them know that. And again, my question mark. Whoopsie. Okay. Yeah, so we're getting ready to start for game number 2. We'll have to see if Southern New Hampshire University can come fighting back, because it definitely was a rough start on their end. One thing I also want to touch on real quick before we do get into game 2, actually, is back to that. This is going to be the first time in a little while we get to do this. Saints merch drop. Of course, we do have our store on Acquire, and we're just getting a bunch of things updated. So make sure you go take a look. There's a lot of cool things, including some of the jackets and some of the jerseys that you may see myself wear or some of the players wear on the stream. So make sure you get a piece of it. Go to acquire.ca/Saints to make sure you get a piece of this, because these are some awesome designs, of course, and I'm looking forward to seeing what more is coming into the store as well. The marketing and design team have been working hard to get that all updated and get it ready for this semester. So make sure you hop on over to Acquire and check it out. Now, without further ado, we're going to be getting into game number 2. And it's going to be a map that we actually haven't quite seen in a little while. It is going to be on Hollywood. We don't see this map like at all for the most part. I'm looking forward to if this map does end up sticking. Just taking a look at the lobby as of this moment. Excuse me. And yeah, sure enough, it looks like it is going to be Hollywood. So game number 2 right around the corner. And I'm just taking a look at the chat, just seeing what everybody's up to here inside the Saints Gaming CA Twitch chat. Of course, everybody hanging out, having a good time. And of course, yes, every single time Prince Wada finds himself a solid shatter, the meme is that it is his birthday. So apparently he's 56, even though he's like, what, 20-something? But anyway, you could probably hear it in the background. We're about to get into game number 2. Thank you for bearing with me throughout the break. We're about to get underway here on Hollywood. Woo, there we go. It has been so long since I feel like I've seen this map. And to start things off, you'll have to capture the point that's just right around the corner here, right where this limousine is. If the attacking team can successfully capture that, they're going to be going all the way down the street and try to push this as far as possible in order to successfully score some checkpoints. And whoever, of course, makes it across the most checkpoints, makes it the furthest down the road, will be successful in winning this matchup here. Of course, now, for the side of Southern New Hampshire University, they don't have much time, per se, to make something happen. They're going to start on the attacking side to get this one started, and it's going to be all eyes on them to see if they can actually successfully capture this first point and get this thing moving. If they get full held right now, that is going to be absolutely heartbreaking for them here, because if they do end up full holding this, it is going to be so difficult to try and do it back. And we do see a bit of a difference here. We're going to see the pharmacy combo come out here between Desi and Prince Subfer charging on in. However, it does appear that Baleable is on the McCree, and Kale, of course, is on the Hanzo, so it's not going to be the cleanest of sailing here for Desi. A Siren, however, is going to find Baleable, so this should actually allow for the Pharah of Desi to kind of run free a little bit. Saints are doing a pretty solid job of just deathballing this, however, though, going on the offensive, even though they're technically on the defense. In the process, however, they have given up one of the points, or one of the ticks here in this point. Where on the world of the Saints here? There we go. A Siren is going to end up going down, does trade his life, though, 1-for-1. And they're going to slowly try to get here. Of course, on the defensive side of things, you have to run a lot further to get back into the game if you die. But thankfully, for the side of St. Clair, they have been able to get enough of a group aside to keep everybody here. KO with one more shot, going to finish off Rhino. So, solid there for Southern New Hampshire, as they were able to at least get the first third, and they don't have to lose that progress at all. Still a long way to go here for them to capture this point, but they do have 2 minutes, 30 seconds to make things work. Baleable can con the line of fire a little bit, and his eyes are definitely going to be on that Pharah, because otherwise just going to rain onto the Saints squad for free. And Desi does find Imp, actually, so one of the support members of St. Clair down. High Noon, Deadeye is going to find the support. It's going to find the Mercy, but it does still allow Desi to find himself too. Bit of an awkward back and forth here. So we ride along with, let's see who's actually in this fight here. Commanda is on the point trying to defend, but he's going up against Rhino. It would definitely be a bad time for her there. But the rest of the Saints have recovered and got themselves back into this. And they did not give up another portion of that capture points. So once you make it to like 1/3, 2/3, those your progress does stick around. But unfortunately, there for the side of Southern New Hampshire, not quite finding it just this time. Desi goes down. Huge shot there from Kale. Going to finish the job there. And with them being down, we're going to have the kiss of death coming out here once again, as that dragon's going to fly through absolutely everybody. But considering it flew through everybody, Kale only found the one elimination there in that fight. It's kind of funny to see, but so far so good here for St. Clair. They still have some ultimates available. That being said, though, look at the side of Southern New Hampshire. They may be able to brute force it if they just basically use everything, or if they can find Pepto to get that solid Graviton against the Saints. But it's got to be lined up properly here. We know Prince Wada wants the shatter. He's going to be looking for it through the car. He's going to find 3, and that's instantly going to flip this on its head. And with less than a minute left to go in this game, this is actually very brutal for this side of Southern New Hampshire. They're going to have to kind of rush this. Sure, they have ultimates, but at the same time, are they going to be all gathered up for one more fight? If they do end up waiting for each other, which it looks like they're going to end up doing, they're going to lose a little bit of time, and there's like 30 seconds left to go. And because Saints use basically all of their utility, the only ultimate they're going to have here on deck is going to be in the hands of Imp. Has that sound barrier available. If they do get comboed, he's going to pop it up to try and negate as much damage as possible. Baleable does find a kill, and he's going to find actually 3 of them now after getting that Deadeye. This is going to get completely flipped again. A bit of a misplay on the side of Southern New Hampshire, and that is going to absolutely cost them here, as the Saints are going to completely full hold the Southern New Hampshire squad here on Hollywood. Unfortunate there for the side of Southern New Hampshire. A big, big miss in regards to setting up that combo. I don't know if the comms are messed up or what, because Pepto, he got in there. He got a bunch of the Saints locked up inside that Graviton. He did what he had to do. But where was the Dragon? Where was the Hanzo ult? It was so late, and I don't know if he was getting stunned up by somebody or what, but by the time that Dragon Strike came through, it was way, way too late. The Saints were already on the move. Imp had already had the sound barrier down, so even if it did tag a few people, it wasn't going to take it long enough for the sound barrier to go through. And just absolutely missing the mark there for the side of Southern New Hampshire. Now let's take a look and see, as it looks like Prince Wada was having himself a little bit of a fun time here. Everybody's hanging out on top of the cache area. Oh god, why am I actually brain farting here on this? But here, is this a team photo or what here? Apostle, get in here. Where are you at? Why are you over here, Apostle? Get in here with the team. Anyway, about to get things started here. Can the Saints get 2 of the checkpoints here? I believe they have to get. They don't even have to have technically full cap in order to win this set. They just have to get it about halfway through. Saints on the charge. Going to be basically keeping the same composition that they used on the defensive side of things. However, Southern New Hampshire are really going to switch this around. If the surprise Doomfist coming out here from Desi does a little bit of damage, but nothing too crazy. We do ride along with Prince Wada. They are getting kind of chopped up here. A Siren is on the main to switch things up. And here we go. We're going to brawl right on top of the roof. Very, very messy spot to try and do battle. And now, available, looking for the flank. He finds a Doomfist. Desi going to go down. Ultimate opportunity here for the Saints to clean this one up. And because the defensive disadvantage here in regards to respawns, they're going to have to run a long way to try and get themselves back into this. 5 members of the Saints on the point to try and finish off this game. Nice and quick. Available, going to find himself one kill, finds himself another. Now, can he find Pepto? He's going to find Pepto right before he goes down. Saints get a full team wipe here, and they're going to be very, very close. Someone has to touch, but they're just completely cleaning house on the point. Nobody on the side of Southern New Hampshire is going to even come close to stopping this. And that is going to be the clean sweep here for St. Clair, successfully finding himself 2-0 here in this NECC matchup. Available, going to find himself play of the game. It's probably for that Deadeye that caught 3. Let's see if he can show us exactly what happened. Sure enough, Graviton goes down on the side of Southern New Hampshire, but they do not care in the slightest. If anything, that kind of exposed all of the members of Southern New Hampshire to keep on pushing. And that is an absolute destructive clean sweep coming out here from St. Clair. 2-0, successful victory over Southern New Hampshire. Just double checking now. I'm second guessing myself a little bit. Is this actually best of 3 or best of 5? Everybody's still in the lobby, so I'm kind of hesitating here for a second. Taking one more thing here, but nonetheless, everybody in regards to the Saints players today were just all on the same page. Really, really looking good in this matchup. Okay, I'm apparently getting baited here, so it looks like this is a best of 5 now. Overwatch is just driving me crazy, apparently, as of late, but it's okay. Oh, God. I swear that NECC last week was best of 3. Quickly gonna figure this out as we go along here. I do apologize. Normally I have this kind of stuff figured out, but unfortunately, kind of dropping a ball, catch me off guard here today, apparently. This is what I'd like to see, nonetheless, here. Everybody's popping off here for the St. Clair squad. So much support this year for the Overwatch team. I absolutely love it. I would always get a little bit nervous from like the past couple semesters. Not that the teams weren't good. We had very strong teams in the last couple semesters and in this semester as well. But I don't know what it is about this squad. This squad brings in the support like no other squad has so far here for viewership, for people cheering them on. So I absolutely love to see it. I see about 30 of yous up there. having a good time here in the chat, of course. And it looks like Rialto is going to be the map for game number 3. Just getting some things figured out real quick. Okay, yeah, just deciding which side that the players are going to start on for this one, of course. So again, apologies for kind of getting thrown off in regards to the matchups. Okay, that's why it baited me out. No matter what the series is here in NECC, you do play all 3 games. So even if the Saints end up winning the series like they have already with the 2-0, because of map differential and point systems, you play out all the points anyway. So that's where that's where I got confused nonetheless. So apologies for making things a little bit messy here for you guys tuning in. But now, well, I guess we're learning together here today. Asking if everyone's ready. I'm all set and good to go. Everybody in chat I know is ready to see this next matchup. Rialto, of course, is a map that that our Saints have been rather hit or miss on as of late. They do like it, but at the same time, there have been a couple rough matches here. I want to see what kind of Saints we're going to get here for this next match. Right now, side of Southern New Hampshire University, they definitely seem to be struggling a little bit. Trying to see if I can take a look at some of their career profiles, if they will allow me to. And looks like most of them have them all locked out. I was trying to see how many, or not how many, but maybe how many seasons or what kind of ranks the players were, but that is going to be locked away. And yeah, here we go. Sure enough, everybody in the... yeah, I'm getting the confirmation here now in the chat, of course. This is where the delay on the stream makes things a little bit awkward sometimes. But yeah, it is best of 3, but you play all 3 maps for map count. Yeah, so it makes sense. All caught up and good to go now. Of course, trying my best to keep you all informed and not confuse you a little bit too much. But without further ado, we're just waiting on the go-ahead here for the side of Southern New Hampshire University. Let's see, what else is interesting that we can quickly talk about as we do wait for them? Well, how about actually we do talk about a couple things in regards to a few matches that we do have coming up. One thing to note is over on the OPSC stream, our League of Legends team is currently going to be going up against Conestoga again in playoff action, though, and another best of 3 sets. So after this match, make sure to hop on over and support the League of Legends squad as well. And then later on, we do have plenty of other matches as well, but I will tell you about it in a little bit, because as you can probably tell, we are hopping in to game number 3 right here, right now, here on Rialto. There we go. The Rialto, actually such a nice map overall here for the Overwatch squad. Firstly, I like the river. Sometimes you'll see Roadhogs and Lucios try to boop or pull people into the river, get some quick, funny kills. Could actually turn into maybe some different team compositions if one of the teams want to try and abuse it. Like this little bridge here, you'll oftentimes see a Roadhog kind of park himself over here, try to get the hook, and just dunk him down. So of course, you do fall into the water. That is instant death, getting eliminated right away. And of course, goal this time by here for the Overwatch squad with Southern New Hampshire University. No capture points or anything, just push this cart as far as you possibly can. And now, Saints on defense once again. Let's see how they handle this. Bailable alongside Prince Wada in the front lines. Let's see if they can find themselves a quick pick to shut this down. Pretty standard across both teams as of this moment. We have Kale back on the Hanzo. This has been working pretty solidly for him all season. Gonna pick it right back up. Commanda sticking to that Moira. And Imp, he's basically always been Lucio, but he's on that hero for a reason. Absolutely fantastic at the hero. And okay, the 1-for-1. A Siren does find bailable, but Kale is going to pick up Osiren instead. Rhino going to win the tank battle. Rhino along here with Kale, of course, trying to pepper everybody down. But where in the world is Imp? He's on the cart trying to stall this out. Not going to happen, however. Kale nearly going down. He's right alongside Commanda, but Commanda is going down as well. It looks like where in the world does end up getting clubbed by Rhino's hammer. And does go down. Oh, dear God. Someone don't clip that. Anyway, this is right on the border of the first checkpoint. Can they actually contest? This is looking a little bit rough here, actually, for St. Clair. They do go down. Apostle had full charge, but gets taken down very quickly. And Commanda does get to the point, but just a second too late. It does go down anyway. So Osiren and the rest of the Southern New Hampshire squad actually looking very strong here on this first point of Rialto. Fragnar just along for the ride here on the cart, while everybody else seems to be having a bit of a party up here in the building itself. Prince Wada, as soon as he drops that shield, there's a lot of damage going his way, and it's going to try and be negated, as we do have Commanda leading the charge here with that Coalescence. Give him the okay to basically charge on through. Where in the world is everybody? We hear Gravitons. We have a big mess here. Commanda, or not, Fragnar actually, doing huge healing to his team considering the clumped up nature, and Desi, this time he's not going to make any mistake. He's going to hit that that Dragon Strike right when he needs to. No delay this time, right on time. So huge push coming here for Southern New Hampshire University. Already down to 4 minutes and 19 seconds. Saints will be able to do the same combo back to them, however, in just a moment. Prince Wada also has the Shatter available if he wants to opt for that option. They're kind of lined up. Graviton going through. Where is the dragon? There it comes. Kiss of Death coming out here once again from Kale. Going to melt through this Southern New Hampshire squad and at least get them off the cart for just a second. And it's going to be Imp, actually, with the sneaky little boop on to Desi, and Fragnar is like, never mind, I'm going to hop off, eliminate myself, and go rejoin my team. Probably wise. Oh, sneaky little pick actually coming out here from Kale. Nice shot, taking Siren down nice and quick. That's going to stall out this from being a 6-on-6 for just a little bit longer. They're still going to try and make their move. Of course, nowhere near the cart as of this moment. They have to try and get there first. As we hop along with Kale again. Rhino trying to go through the building, but there's so many Saints members here that it's going to be messy. Shatter across the steps, taking down 4. And Prince Wada, once again, he just manages to find these shatters over and over again and turn these fights. Big play coming out from him and the rest of the St. Clair squad being able to follow up on that. So they were able to completely hold that just with the lone ultimate from Prince Wada, and just like that too from using it and then just charging on in. He's basically got half of another ultimate as well. Big value coming out here for the Saints. It's going to be the Deadeye coming out here from Bailable. More of a warning shot than anything. Going to just fire that away. Doesn't quite find any targets this time. But a grouped up battle here with Siren going to find Imp. Unfortunately, Lucio, of course, just as a support, just so squishy, can get taken down extremely quickly here in these fights. Apostle fully charged, but here comes, I think it was a... No, that wasn't a Graviton. It kind of sounded like it, but not quite. Not this time. And fully charged, Apostle going to dive on in. But he's going through the... what was supposed to be the Shatter from Rhino, but it didn't actually make contact. He was killed too quickly. So now, Saints in a solid position once again. 2 minutes left on the clock. They get themselves another team wipe. They'll have themselves a Shatter around the corner. They almost have another ultimate here, another Graviton from Apostle Zarya. Just needs a little bit more damage. So we see him doing some early lobs of those shots, and is going to successfully get himself the ulti. But where in the world is Kale? That's going to be the big thing, especially if they club him up like this. Launch the dragon right on through, and everybody gets absolutely melted. They try to answer with a dragon strike for themselves too, and it got basically one, if anything. It only managed to be the takedown onto Commanda. So she'll be able to get them back into this fight before the next push happens, and a huge team kill for St. Clair. And I mean, the only ultimate now on deck for them is this Shatter from Prince Wada, but I say that as if that's a bad thing. He's absolutely on fire here, finding the right angles here with that ultimate. And right now on the side of Southern New Hampshire, they've been doing a lot of switching, so to be honest, they don't have really anything right now. they're going to force it again right through here. Kale with a very solid start. That Shatter is going to at least handle Prince Subfer, but actually a little bit off-putting here as the Saints are going back and forth. But Rhino did take Prince Wada down, but there's just no front line here now for the rest of this New Hampshire squad. Available and Apostle going to finish that one up nice and quick. So, sure, that Shatter maybe wasn't exactly an all-star Shatter, but it still got the job done in the end, to the point where we now have Imp and available with, don't say that too many times fast, with their ultimates. Where does Bailable try to get the sneak attack? He is up on the high ground, so he very well could find an opportunity. And this time, they're going to completely avoid the steps. It is going to be the side of Southern New Hampshire moving forward. Where's the Deadeye? When's it going to come out? He's in a solid spot. I'm waiting for it. He's going to jump on in. He does it not opt to go for the high ground. Just opts to get back with the rest of his team. And now the Shatter comes out. That one was from Rhino. It does allow Pepto and Desi to get on moving. And they're on the points, and they have the Coalescence with them as well. And that's going to be Available getting melted down here. Fragnar going to get credited with that one with the Coalescence. And of course, the Coalescence does not care about your shields. It'll go right through. They're going to try and trade this out here with the Graviton. Going to hold them all into place and let Prince Wada do the damage here with that hammer, of course. Doing a ton of damage. Command has returned with the Coalescence. That's a Dragon Strike as well to get them off the point. And that's going to be maybe enough here. Prince Wada, that's just a warning shot. Trying to get a Shatter onto a Tracer is absolutely brutal. But Kale's going to find the finishing blow. Melee style actually here onto Osiren. So a solid push here for Southern New Hampshire University. However, only the one checkpoint in some, or about 100 meters so of distance. We'll see in a second exactly where that cart is. Sure enough, here it is. So the Saints just have to get it to this point, and they will be the victors here in this matchup. Well, technically they're already the victors in this matchup, but they will walk away with 3 points compared to 2. Of course, have to start with the first point. We did see Southern New Hampshire do a fantastic job of just absolutely blowing through this first section.
Ready for battle.
Can Saints beat that time? Or how much time, rather, are they going to spend trying to get into this first checkpoint? They're trying a couple things differently, however. We do have the Widowmaker coming out here for Bailable. Double sniper composition coming out this time, if this does end up sticking around. And is everybody posed on the stairs? Hey, there we go. Now we actually have the a proper angle here. That's not what I'm looking for. There we go. Unfortunately, the nameplates go down in that case, so it doesn't quite make it proper, the proper context. But anyway, we're off with the attack for the Saints this time by Rhino, and the rest of the side of Southern New Hampshire going to be right around the corner, basically waiting for him again. Apostle going to try and frontline it here for just a second, absorb as much damage as possible with his shields, of course. And more shields, of course, that Zarya does end up blocking the higher charge that laser beam will do. As we do ride along with the fight at hand. Rhino, his shield was extremely low, but Bailable going to find the first pick onto Desi. He does end up losing that sniper battle. Bailable's still all the way over here. Meanwhile, the rest of the Saints taking a different angle of approach. They're going to try and run aside, but that means they're just going to run right into Bailable. That's 3 going into his pocket nice and quickly. And now Kale and the rest of the Saints can just push this basically for free all the way there. They're going to have to force it if they're going to try and defend here. Bailable still, from that fight, was still pretty weak. Are the rest of the Saints in position to try and defend? Kale going to start things off huge, taking the headshot right onto Fragnar, taking care of one of the supports, taking care of the Moira, going to find the big tank as well, takes care of Rhino. Saints going to be able to get this onto the first checkpoint as soon as they deal with this Lucio. Where did he go? It's always a little bit difficult to try and catch a Lucio, but it's not going to be too difficult for them as they do eventually find Prince Subfer and takes care of him. In just a moment or two, as we see a lot of damage coming out here for Kale, and unfortunately there for Rhino, his charge was just a little bit ill-advised, and that's going to be the double here for Kale. Nice shots coming out, getting the quick double. They're going to probably be able to get this right around the corner before they even, well, actually it's so far away, but the Saints are so aggressively placed that This play can happen. Where's Apostle? He's in the corner. He's going to be looking for the sneaky Graviton to set up the Dragon. Fires it in. Where's the Dragon Strike? Here it comes. Going to be coming right through everybody for the most part on the side of Southern New Hampshire, but it is only going to be Osiren who goes down. The Coalescence and the Sound Barrier coming out to try and keep the Southern New Hampshire squad alive. So we ride along here with Apostle, trying to do as much damage as possible. Does find Pepto up in the high ground. Going to help Kale finish them off. And right now, looking Gleam here for, or looking, is Gleam the right word? I'm not 100% sure, but looking bleak rather for the side of Southern New Hampshire. They do have Lucio there. If Baleble's going to try and find the snipe, is going to eventually take him down. So they have this right around the corner. Emergency Wrecking Ball coming out once again here for Rhino. It's going to be the Graviton. Where in the world is it? They're going to try and Dragon Strike combo for themselves. It's going to melt away the Saints, which, fair enough, of course, very strong combo as Desi finds himself a triple, and he's going to try and tear through the rest of this St. Clair squad. Available in a bit of an awkward position. Where is he? Yeah, sure enough, Osiren's going to find him and take care of him. Commando running back to spawn. So right now, Southern New Hampshire, finally, after a couple minutes, going to give themselves at least an opportunity to breathe. Regroup. They don't have much in regards to ultimates, but they will have Fragnar's Coalescence in just a moment. Close call there for Commanda. Was able to fade away behind, Prince Wada's shield, as he did get picked off ever so slightly there by Desi. He's going to charge on through. Watch out for the shatter from Prince Wada. The hang time on that was pretty cool, but he's not going to find anybody this time by. But it very well may not matter. We do have a Rip Tire coming out. Where did it go? Siren, where is your tire? Is it going to get any effectiveness? It is going to take care of Apostle, so that's a start. They do have the Dragon Strike available, but normally you want to combo that with something. Coalescence is available here for Commanda. As soon as she gets it, she's going to pop it and try to keep the team alive and do as much damage. Does end up trading 1 for 1, but the bombs, or not the bombs, but the grenades from Osiren was a little bit too much to try and deal with. Prince Wada kind of the lone player here for the Saints, trying to tank up and keep this cart contested. Imp is there actually as well, but has to run away. Is about to go down. Desi has probably got himself a pentakill at this point with how many kills he's gotten so far in this engagement. Fragnar going to find himself one as well. But this one is going to get pushed aside. Saints definitely need to regroup here. They're kind of staggered out here in a very awkward fight. We actually have the Tracer coming out here now for Balable. No longer going to be trying to snipe, looking to go point blank here with some players. And he does find Desi. There's 2 minutes still on the clock for St. Clair to make a play. The Big Bang, the Grav Dragon, we have multiple things available. They're going to just fire everything. Apostle going to find himself a double. Kale's got the Dragon coming in late as well, and it's going to pick up Pepto. The Dragon's to try and answer here from Desi, basically from the spawn room. Not going to find any targets. Desi goes down. There's a lot of deaths here on the side of Southern New Hampshire, and Saints are in position and are, in fact, going to secure the 3-0 here in this series. Good games all around. Southern New Hampshire by game number 3 absolutely looked much better, but unfortunately for them, just a little bit too little too late, it looks like, as Saints take this, of course, in 3-0 fashion. With Prince Wada going to find himself the play of the game again with that stairway shatter, just knocking down so many players on the side of Southern New Hampshire. Beautifully done, executed perfectly, and was able to win the team fight just with that ultimate by itself, when in all reality, that's supposed to be the setup ultimate more than anything, since it doesn't do a whole heck of a lot of damage. But everybody else in St. Clair was right there to come clean up as well, and one of many plays that helped St. Clair secure themselves 3-0 here tonight. Excuse me. But with that, that is basically it in regards to our matchup here tonight, of course. Saints taking 3 points in this NECC season, or in this session, rather. There is still so much more to go here in basically all the leagues, but including Overwatch as well. This is only week 3 of, I believe, 7, so still not even halfway quite there yet for this Overwatch squad. And then they still have Play Versus, which I think is starting next week as well. So much action. If you're here for the Overwatch squad, you are going to get a bunch of it in the upcoming weeks. So make sure you follow us here on the Saints Gaming CA Twitch channel to make sure you don't miss a beat. Now, speaking of matches coming up, let's take a look at our schedule for the next couple of days. Tomorrow at Friday at 9 p.m. was just informed, actually, that the match is going to be picked up here on the Collegiate R6 channel. So our Rainbow Six Siege team and Collegiate R6 action will be, excuse me, will be on the main stream. So Looking forward to seeing that matchup. You can catch the match here at 9 if you wish. We will host the channel, but it will be on, of course, Collegiate R6's stream. Then Saturday at 3, no doubleheader, but we do have the CLL League of Legends match at 3 o'clock. Then on Sunday, it says 7 p.m. That is me being an absolute butt. Looks like I forgot to change a couple of these times, but it is going to be the CSGO match at 5, the Face It CSGO Contenders League. Then Monday, that's not supposed to be 5 o'clock. I think I see what I did there. That is supposed to be 8 o'clock for the Upsurge Minor Leagues. We're now in the playoff season here for that after the Saints go flawless in the regular season. Looking forward to seeing that matchup as well. Then Tuesday, that is actually the start of a doubleheader where going to be a match at 8 o'clock for Counter-Strike, and then at 5:30 there is going to be a match in NECC Rocket League. Apologies again, must have absolutely dropped the ball making some of these graphics here today, but of course, if you want to make sure that you have all of the correct information, normally I of course have that here for the stream, but it was just definitely off today. But make sure you follow us on our Twitter page as well, Saints Gaming CA, there to get all the updates of who we're playing, when we're playing, where is it going to be streamed, and of course any other Saints news results that you may be interested in catching up on throughout the week. But with that, we are going to be closing out in just a moment. Again, big thank you first off to everybody for tuning in and showing this Overwatch team as much support as you have. Of course, I'm not used to seeing so much support for this Overwatch squad. I love the fact that everybody is here. Thank you for tuning in and supporting, whether it's just the team or your friends, classmates, family members. It's always a pleasure to see. Whether you're here for St. Clair side of things or Southern New Hampshire, thank you for tuning into the matchup. Then, of course, big thank you to everybody who is, of course, a sponsor of our streams. The St. Clair College, Zeckelman School of Business and Information Technology, Tim Hortons, PC Outlet, St. Clair College Alumni Association, and the St. Clair SRC. And, of course, lastly, two other things I wanted to quickly talk about. Of course, we mentioned it before, but we have merch, of course, now available in the Acquire store, updated for this semester, and there's still going to be more designs coming out as well. What you see on screen here is just the start. The hoodies, the jackets, jerseys, and shirts, and more. I think face masks and stuff are available as well. So acquire.ca/saints. Make sure you get a piece of it. And of course, it's never too early. Make sure that you are applying if you want to switch from watching it on your screen to competing from your screen. If you want to be a part of the St. Clair Saints, make sure you apply below at the stclairsaints.ca website/join. Of course, multiple teams that you see on screen for applications. And even if there's a team up there that you want to compete in, but you don't see your team that you want, by all means, can get something started. If you are a student, get something started in the esports club. We want to see what you can do. Some of our teams started as a club team and then graduated essentially into varsity. So I want to see what you can do, regardless of which game you play and regardless of how popular people think of it. But nonetheless, that is going to be it for the broadcast. St. Clair College going to take this in 3-0 fashion over Southern New Hampshire University, and relatively convincing fashion. Game 3 was a much better battle, but for the most part, Saints had full control over that series. But with that, in a few moments, I'll be hosting us over to the OPSE stream where our League of Legends team is currently taking place in a playoff match versus Conestoga. In regards to a next live match here, I will see you on Saturday at 3 o'clock for some CLL League of Legends. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.